I said, Gregory Beatty in with me, Keith Benton, RJ over there. Like I said, anybody that listens to the show, we're going to get with YouTube here very, very soon. We're going to be doing some YouTube stuff. And we're going to get with YouTube and see what YouTube is about. So I think that'd be a good deal. So, and there's a call on the line? Call on the line. Call on the line. What's your name? What do you want to talk about? Call. Testing. 1, 2, 3. In the place to be. What's up? Hello. Going once. Going twice. He gone. Hey, just cut him off. We're about to get into some football anyway. I think this guy wants to talk about basketball. Yeah. He's a day late in what you call it? Hey. Welcome back. The sports court. But transitioning to some football real quick. You know, I want to get your take on a few things. Best QB ever, best running back ever, best wide receiver ever. Gonna shoot the breeze for a second. We're gonna shoot the breeze for a second on that. Best QB ever in your opinion?
Best QB ever. There's so many to choose from right now. Currently, I gotta go with Tom Brady.
Already.
You know, the guy has history at the University of Michigan, former Wolverine. Came off the bench with former QB, is it Drew Henson that got hurt?
Yep.
And he never looked back ever since. They led the Patriots to several Super Bowls. He had broke many passing records, touchdown records, class act on the field, off the field. Him and Bill Belichick have created a culture and atmosphere in Boston and the New England area where they produce championships year round.
Absolutely.
Those guys, Robert Kraft, the owner of the team, Bill Belichick, front office, have done a great job in bringing in players for bargain prices.
And fitting them into the system.
Fitting them to the system.
And utilizing their talents,
yes, sir,
to fit that system and using what they do best to fit that system.
Yes.
I mean, if they're not great at one thing, they don't use them like that. Yeah. They use them in what they do best and incorporate that into the system.
And the system doesn't change, just the players.
Right.
And I've seen guys, unknown guys like Dan Amendola, and a couple other guys that were basically nobodies, even though Dan Amendola was from Houston and he played at Texas Tech. But he wasn't no big-time name versus other guys, Jerry Rice and all those type of guys. But Tom Brady has meant a whole lot to that organization. And right now, he's playing lights out. He has to be one of the best.
At 41, he'll be 41. He had no drop-off last year, man. At some point, when is he going to have... And now, that's one of my things. I don't want to get back into basketball when everybody talks about... Now, LeBron's still the best player in the league and all this and that. But my thinking still is, okay, you don't want to give up. I mean, LeBron this and LeBron that. But he's going to be 34. At what point is he going to have a precipitous drop-off in his production? At some point, it's going to happen. So as far as Tom Brady's concerned, at what point the dude will be 41 years old? At what point? Now, granted, his style of play fits what he does as far as fits the longevity aspect of him continuing to play because he's never been a mobile guy. He's not going to try to move around the pocket. He's just going to shuffle his feet, and he uses his brain to play ball. Yeah. So at what point is he going to have that precipitous decline? I don't think it's going to be next year, and I don't even think it's going to be the year after.
You know, the way that his persona, his personality, the whole thing about him, I don't think he's going to walk away on a high.
On top.
Bingo.
Hey, speaking of that, man, walking away on top, it's interesting that you bring that up because, and I agree with you on that, I think he's going to walk away because once he feels like his play is steadily declining, I think he's going to be wise enough and smart enough to like, oop, you know, I'm gone. Plus, he takes care of his body. You know, his health kicks on another level, and he actually invests time into into taking care of his body and making sure that he's prepared.
He has the right people around him.
He has the right people
In
around
his
him.
camp, he has the right trainers, the right medical staff, the right everything around him.
And he invests.
And he invests in himself.
He invests in himself.
In
He
himself.
definitely invests in himself.
So basically, he's winning.
He's definitely winning. That's what you call a professional and a guy that it's only so many guys in each sport that you can say this guy wants to be the best. Not only is he saying he wants to be the best, he's putting it into action. He's doing it. Michael Jordan, of course, they say his work ethic was off the chain.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, work ethic. You're talking about all-time greats. Peyton Manning, studied in the classroom, off the field, work ethic. Football, Tom Brady, like we said. LeBron James, you know, like we said. And the list goes on and on. But you know, the greats, the legitimate greats, they put it in off the field. They take care of themselves, take care of their bodies. But speaking of going out on top, man, you know who went out on top? You know who went out on top? Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Jim Brown. You making me harken back for a second. This guy, Jim Brown, for the Cleveland Browns, Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown, for all who don't know who we're talking about, Jim Brown, Hall of Fame running back, Cleveland Browns, retired at 29 years old.
Yeah.
You know his last year, he rushed for over 1,500 yards, I think 27 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, and the only reason he left was because with Cleveland Browns. Now, he went on to have a fabulous movie career.
Yeah.
They matched up pretty good, matter of fact. He played in like 30-something movies, man.
Oh,
If you watch some of his old films, Jim Brown was okay. He was okay. So he's one of those guys that got into the entertainment world and fizzled. I mean, he had some longevity. And he was pretty good at what he did.
And you gotta understand, Jim Brown came out in the late 60s when he finally gave it up in 65, 66.
Right on.
And you gotta understand, black exploitation movies were big in the early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he hit.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out with a lot of black exploitation movies, you know, the Pam Grier movies,
Right.
those type movies.
Right.
And that's when he hit. And he made the crossover, and he did a lot of other things, television shows, the whole nine yards.
And at the same time, he was very active in the civil rights movement.
Almost definitely.
The guy did not bite his tongue. He really laid it out there. But as far as on the football field, man, this guy went out. We're talking about Tom Brady going out on top. And of course, Barry Sanders did the same thing. Who's the best running back of all time?
Well, that's going to be a tough one. I mean, you got tons of them.
So between Jim Brown, I think, between Jim Brown, in my opinion, I go on and on. Now, my favorite player ever is Tony Dorsett.
Yeah.
I mean, my goal is to have Tony Dorsett sitting where you're sitting.
Yeah.
At some point this football season. TD, man, if you're listening, holler at me.
Yeah.
Holler at me.
Walter Payton was
I'm already trying to make that happen. Crazy that sound, but I really am.
Walter Payton was a great one.
Yeah.
He was a great one. Yeah,
Walter Payton was,
I mean, Houston's own Earl Campbell, he was great at his time. I mean, the Steelers had one with Franco Harris. They had Rocky Bleier. I mean, you remember those guys back in the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate the Steelers. And Steelers fans, you know.
I mean, it just depends on the era. You know, Larry DeZonka for the old Miami Dolphins. You like Jim Brown. You just mentioned Jim Brown. Eric Dickerson, Marshall
My mom taught him in high school at Sealy, man. When she first got out of college, she taught him. I used to go to his high school games at Sealy.
Yeah. You know,
that's a he was cold. Of course, with the Browns, man.
Craig James. I mean,
the Pony Express
in the 80s.
Yes, sir. I watch almost every game.
But the list can go on and on. But as we speak right now, it's tough. It's really tough. It's really tough. Of all
top two then. I'll catch you a break on that one. Go top two.
Top two. I like Walter.
Okay.
Sweetness.
All right.
I got to get it.
Okay.
Sweetness came out of Jackson State. Won a Super Bowl in '85
with the Chicago Bears. I'm still mad at Mike Dicker for not letting this guy score that touchdown. He let Fridge score that touchdown.
Yeah. That was a marketing thing.
That was a marketing thing because Fridge was the big deal that year. The refrigerator. Yeah, right.
My next guy.
And Peyton didn't take too fondly to that not being able to score that touchdown in the Super Bowl. No, he actually voiced his opinion after the fact. You know, him and Dicker was at odds for a while because he thought that Dicker should have had the respect for him and the appreciation to at least let him score a touchdown in that Super Bowl. Go ahead.
I like the guy Tony Dorsett. The reason why I like him,
Love TV, man.
I remember when the Minnesota Vikings game, when they was in the end zone, the 1 yard line, and he took it 99
yards.
And man,
I remember that game on Monday Night Football like it was yesterday.
You know, those guys, you gotta understand, those guys can get 5 to 6 yards a pop.
Already.
And that's when they was running. They wasn't running the spread offense option without. They was running right out the pro set.
Right down your throat. Hey, here we come. Stop us if you think you can. And you had 2 wide receivers, and there we go. But I actually, man, that's my guy, TD, man. I thought I was TD when I played ball, man, when I was playing running back. But wide receiver.
We spoke about this. We got to go with Jerry Rice.
JR.
We got to go with Jerry Rice. I mean, the man is, perfect receiver. I'm gonna use the term perfect.
Yeah.
Because he did everything.
I actually
to a perfection. He did everything to a perfection. He practiced what he preached. Off the field, before the field, preseason, during the season, on the field,
and still think he can play at 55 years old. Hey, Jerry, don't do it, man.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But because he can't play right now, no matter how much. But that shows you the confidence that this guy has and that he played with. And I agree with you on that. He's literally the perfect receiver.
Perfect receiver.
And from Mississippi Valley State, of course, they called him Jerry World Rice.
Yeah.
At Mississippi Valley State, playing in that SWAC conference under Coach Archie Cooley, Willie Satellite Totten
as
the QB. Do you know one time in an actual game, Archie Cooley, now this is before the game, he was playing a team that he really wanted to beat real bad. I can't remember the team exactly, but he knew that they were going to double Jerry Rice because Jerry Rice just started dominating, right?
Yeah.
So he actually, one of his other receivers, I think the guy's name was Rod Smith, if I'm not mistaken, who won number 45. He actually made him and Jerry Rice change jerseys, right?
I heard about this.
Yeah, change jerseys.
Yeah.
So the first quarter of the game, they thought they were covering Jerry Rice, but they were covering Rod Smith. The whole while, Jerry Rice ran number 45, scoring touchdowns everywhere. It wasn't until they were down about 39-0 at the half or something that they figured out, like, hold on, it's Jerry Rice winning number 45. Hey, man, so, Jerry Rice was a bad boy. But you know, when he was a kid, his dad, Jerry Rice, used to run like 5 miles a day, they said. His mom used to ask him, why is he running 5 miles every day? This is before he started playing football. And he said he don't know. But come to find out, he ended up playing football later, but all that tied into his work ethic. And he also used to work with his dad. His dad was a bricklayer.
Yes, sir.
So he used to catch bricks
With his hands.
So that's what developed his strong hands and hand-eye coordination and his work ethic, because they say his work ethic was second to none. They say his dad's work ethic was second to none, and he had no shortcuts. He gave those guys no shortcuts. They had to go to work every day. And so when this guy got to Mississippi Valley State, he was catching everything because his hands were so conditioned from catching bricks. And he also used to chase horses. He used to chase horses, and he had the fastest horse around in the area where he grew up.
Greenville, Mississippi.
There you go. I appreciate that. And he actually, it usually would take him about 30, 40 minutes, about an hour or more to catch this horse. And he would finally catch the horse. But that's his workout right there. And then if he caught the horse, he'd be able to get on and ride the horse. And so the guy's special. But it kind of brings me back before I let you come, man. I used to have a horse, man. I used to be a cowboy when I was a kid. A lot of people don't believe that I used to be a cowboy when I was a kid because I grew out of it. But in Jasper, Texas, man, where my family is from, I had a horse, man. I had a legendary horse, man, called Eat 'em Up. I was 7, 8 years old. His name was Eat 'em Up. And the reason my family named him Eat 'em Up, I think my late grandmother named him Eat 'em Up, if I'm not mistaken, because I was actually living in Houston. And of course, me and my brother used to always go down there in the summer and visit. And so they would keep my horse there, but the whole while I'm gone, it's costing them a fortune to feed him. So they named him Eat 'em Up, man. But I used to hop on that horse, man. He was a Shetland pony. Of course, I was 7, 8 years old. I used to ride my uncles all the time. And I used to saddle him up. I used to feed him. I was a stone cold cowboy at that age. I just grew out of it, man. I got on the horse, but I used to make him run. My other uncles would be on the horse. And so my uncle's friends, they would be on their horses riding and boom, they get up and go. Yeah. Bam, they come in and eat them up right with it. But actually, so they finally had to sell us, eat them up. I miss eat them up. But oh man, those were, so Jerry Rice actually used to actually chase a horse, man. Okay, so as far as we said, running back, defensive back.
Well, it's a ton of, you can go through different eras with the Willie Browns, the Lester Hayes, the Ronnie Lotts. We talk about defense backs, including safeties as well. The Ronnie Lotts, the Mel Blunts, the modern day players with Deion Sanders.
But let's go corner.
Well, corners,
hands down, Deion, right?
Well, Deion corner, but you had other guys that can hit it well and bring emotion on Lester Hayes.
Let me go back right quick. So I think my best running back of all time is. Good. I actually think it's Barry Sanders. But you know what, man? Jim Brown was so, man. Oh man, but Barry retired at 30 as well. Nah, but go ahead. So that's almost, I hate to say a towel here because you're supposed to in this business, you're supposed to.
I think
pick a side.
Barry retired in his prime.
Man, but Barry didn't have offensive line. Jim Brown was so dominant,
and he was in the
offense. That's a tough.
If you look at Barry Sanders, the highlights, the offense he was in was the run and shoot, the Mount Davis offense. So basically, you didn't have a fullback. He got all this yardage from jugging and jibbing.
That's a great point.
So it was hard. And Detroit wasn't the top-notch team back then anyway. So
that's solidified. Barry Sanders, you just convinced me right there because of that right there. My thing was he never played with an offensive line, but the fact that he was a single back, that's a very great point. That was a very, very great point.
Going back to the cornerback situation, you got so many of them. I like Deion Sanders. I like what Lester Hayes did, cornerback-wise.
Mike Haynes was
good. Mel Blunt was good. The list goes on and on and on. You can go back, many moons. But right now, cornerback covering somebody, I got to go with Deion.
Okay.
I got to go with Deion. Okay. They got a lot of these young guys like Jalen Ramsey. Them guys can cover as well.
Hey man, Jalen Ramsey. I've talked about Jalen Ramsey in the show before, but he's one of my 3 or 4 favorite players in the league. And Jalen, of course, Deion is my favorite player, my favorite cornerback as well.
Yeah.
But Jalen Ramsey, man, I like the swag and confidence he plays with, and he backs it up on the field. He's a guy that made bold shooter. You have a clip where Jalen Ramsey made a bold prediction. This is what he said last year. He said something last year, man, when they went to the playoffs. You don't have that clip?
But y'all make sure y'all bring that same energy out here next week and the week out. We going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We going to win that.
Oh man, that's Jalen Ramsey, man. But God is my player too, man. He's my favorite cornerback.